to another edition of the Student Fire Podcast, live from the Speak Fire studio. My name is Bobby Burke. I'm a motivational speaker for schools, and I am here to help you live your best life today. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition. Actually, no. Welcome back to the first edition of the Student Fire Podcast for the year 2021. Just let that sink in for a second. We made it. We did it. We're here. It's over. The nightmare of 2020 is over. Nah, real talk. I'm just happy to have you here. Seriously, this is one of the coolest feelings because it's a new start. We're getting to do this whole thing, this whole year, the new year, new me, the hashtags, everything. You get to start over. So let's start this off right. I want you to take 5 seconds, and I want you to be really in tune with how you're feeling. Be that good, be it frustrated, be it angry, be it excited, be it just mellow, like whatever it is, I want you to be honest with yourself on how you're doing. And there's no right answer here. This is just for you. Just take a second and just really be honest with how you're feeling. 3, 2, 1. See, that wasn't all that bad. It wasn't. So I know I said we're going to start jumping into the disc this week. Something came up. I got off a coaching session with one of my kids, and then I got an Instagram DM like probably seconds later, and he said, "Hey, could you do me a favor and make this episode for me? I'm really nervous to go back to class." I said, "Okay, sure." So we will get into the disc. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. We're going to get into it, but I really want to address this. So my kid spent most of his winter break not really doing much, just kind of hanging, reading a book every once in a while, but just spending time not doing anything. That was the one goal that he had for this winter break, was to not do anything. And I said, listen, that's cool. Do your thing. Well, about a week in, they said, "Bobby, I don't feel right, man. I've just been scrolling through Instagram and through TikTok, and I mean hours of scrolling." I'm like, "Well, bro, all right. What about that?" He goes, "No, dude, I feel like I'm wasting so much time." And I said, "Well, you are. You 100% are. I'm not going to try and sugarcoat this and tell you everything's chill, because it's not. You have wasted a bunch of unnecessary time." But getting into that, we started talking about why they're doing this. I said, let's, if it bothers you that much, that's cool, but let's discuss this a little bit. Let's really get into the nitty-gritty of why you're doing this. And at first, I got the normal answers of, I don't know. I like being on social media. Yeah, we all do. But what's your reason for really spending that much time on it? It's cool to be there for a little bit, but for that long, something's up. Maybe you're just relaxing and just, winding down for the day, or maybe you're just bored, like whatever. But the more we started talking, we got past I just feel like chaos scrolling. Yeah, cool. Why? Is there something else that you want to do? No. Okay, then I don't really see a problem here. Yeah, but Bobby, something just doesn't feel right. Something feels wrong when I spend a whole 30 minutes of my life just scrolling, just sitting there like this and just going. I said, okay, well, let's stop fighting me so much on this. I'm not here to hurt you. I'm not here to make you feel bad. I'm not here to judge you. I don't care how you spend your time. This is your life, not mine. I don't care. And I said, why does it bother you? And they go, if I can be honest with you, Bobby, I hate being on social media. And I said, whoa, you sure about that? And they said, yeah, no, I hate this. And I said, okay, why? Why do you hate this? Why, if you know that you don't like this behavior that you're doing, because that's what this is, it's a behavior. And if you are identifying this as a negative behavior, what about this negative behavior is turning you off to it? Or what about this negative behavior really pushes the wrong buttons for you? And they go, I feel like I'm looking for something when I'm scrolling, and I'm never really going to find the answer. I really just feel like I'm looking and I'm looking and I'm looking and I can't find what I want. And I said, now we have something that we can really jump into. Y'all, hear me out here. When you spend a copious amount of time doing any task, It can be reading. It can be playing video games. It can be, rereading your notes for class. It can be scrolling through social media. It can be any activity. When you spend a copious amount of time with it, and there's no real reason why, I'm going to hurt someone's feelings here, but I don't really care. You are using this as a coping mechanism, which is fine in most cases. But when you notice it to be a problem, when you notice it to be a real issue, what you're doing is you're looking for something. You're looking for an escape of some sort from some sort of behavior, consequence, what have you. And I really want to harp on the social media thing for a second. I have no problem with social media. I don't. I'm on it. I enjoy it. You all know this. We've covered this before. But I want you to understand what's going on with this student. They hate being on their phone for hours, just scrolling and scrolling. When you know what you're doing? You know what they're doing? They're looking for something. And you want to know what that something is? This was the greatest part of the conversation. They said, Bobby, can you please help me figure out what it is? Can you really help me understand why I'm doing this? I said, okay, I'm gonna hurt your feelings here. And I hope you don't get upset about it, but I'm not that coach that's going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. You're looking for validation, and that's fine. We all do it. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm better than anybody else and I haven't done it. I have. We all have. But what you're looking for is validation not from yourself. You're looking for it from somebody else. You're looking for validation in the amount of likes you get, in the amount of retweets you get, in the amount of views you get. Y'all, it's so easy. It's so easy to post a video that you put a lot of time into, a lot of work into, and it gets 20 views. Y'all, it drives me nuts when I make an awesome podcast episode that I just go deep into, or I feel I do anyway, and it gets a grand total of 6 hits. 6. Whereas I throw together an episode and I'm like, oh, I think this is trash, but I'm going to send it out. And all of a sudden, we're pulling 30, 40, 50, 60, views or organic listens, per episode. I'm like, what is happening here? The problem is so many people take the time to obsess over their numbers. They obsess over social media. They obsess over just sitting there and going, oh, look at this. Oh my gosh, wait, my phone went off. Oh, there's a text. Oh, let me respond to this. Stop. Look at this real quick. See what's going on. And put it down. You don't need the validation of other people. You do not need 18 more views than your last video. You don't need all these more hits on your photo. You don't need it. What you need is to look at the very first thing that you posted. The very first thing. I don't care how far back on your timeline you have to go to find it. I want you to watch the very first thing that you did. Very first creative piece of content that you put out that was really vulnerable for you to actually make. And what I want you to do is I want you to realize that that thing that you put out probably sucked. Yeah, there, I said it. During this winter break, I've taken a lot of time to look back at my own content and realize the first 10 episodes of this podcast are garbage. They're awful. They're not edited well. There's no video attached to it. The audio has hardly been edited, if at all. There's hardly a message. I don't follow my script. I'm flying from the hip is what I'm doing. And you can hear it. But you know what happened? I started doing something. I put myself out there. I was vulnerable. And guess what? Look at this. There's a camera here. The audio's getting clearer. The audio is getting tweaked more every single week. Every episode I make, it's getting changed. The video is about to be edited really, really well. Because we have some really amazing people on our staff. Right? I have an amazing video editor that's doing some wonderful work. It's not just me. I'm not looking for the validation of other people in this. I'm looking to provide as much value to the world as I can. I told my student, I said, listen, do you know how you get over this? Do you know how you really puff your chest up and go, yeah, I'm proud of what I did? You stop worrying about what everyone's going to say. You stop worrying about everyone's negative comment that you know is coming. You stop worrying about all the bad things that are going to happen. You stop focusing on every negative thing that could happen, that might happen. You take that anxiety and you put it in a little box and you throw it away. That's what you do. Because you, my friend, are amazing. You are freaking amazing. You don't even see the amount of creativity, the amount of power, the amount of exuberant, just life force that you give off. Because you're so stuck up here. Because you're so stuck here going, this photo only got 12 likes. This podcast episode only got 6 hits. Well, this video got 132 organic views when my last one got 185. People must not like what I'm doing. And maybe that's true. Maybe they don't like what you're doing. Maybe they don't. I don't know. But what I do know is that if you obsess over every single thing that you put out, you're not going to put things out. You're not going to start putting out more content. You're not going to worry about anything other than other people's opinions. You're going to be stuck chaos scrolling and just going through social media and just looking and looking and looking and looking for what? You're looking at other people's posts. You're looking at other people's replies. You're not interacting with any of it. You're just looking for what is getting an amazing amount of views for other people. So you can emulate what they're doing, which there's a lot of validity to that. I'm not saying that's wrong. What I'm saying is if you're just looking to look, you're not looking to admire. You're looking because you're envious. You're looking because you want that. The problem with most of you doing this, anyone that's putting out creative content, is you're looking at where other people are now. You're looking at their success. You're looking at Amanda Cerny. You're looking at E.T. You're looking at Inky Johnson. You're looking at Tony Robbins. You're looking at Ty Lopez. You're looking at these people that get thousands of organic views on every single thing that they put out, every piece of content. And what's happening with this is you're not looking at where they started. One of the most powerful things my coach did is he showed us his very first video. E.T. showed me his #1 video that they put out. It was garbage. Quote from CJ. CJ's like, yo, this was trash. And we didn't even know any better, but we were starting. Think about that, y'all. The #1 motivational speaker in the world put out trash content. Y'all, I don't care if you're chaos scroll. I don't care if you're looking for validation in places because you don't know where to look for it. That's fine. I challenge you this week for your homework. Start here. I want you to watch the very first piece of content that you've ever put out. I want you to do that. And I want you to look at the first piece of content that you put out that you were proud of. I don't care how many views it has. I don't care how many likes, how many retweets. I don't care. I want you to look at it again. And that feeling that you get of how proud you were and how happy you were to put that out, I want you to emulate that. Reshoot a video, reshoot a podcast, whatever you need to do that. You don't have to put it out. You don't have to post it. I just want you to capture that feeling because for my student, that's exactly what we did. And all of a sudden, that spark that they had to create, that spark to be positive, that spark to be amazing and be in their gift, lit up. And I want that for you. I hope you all have had a wonderful week. I hope you had a wonderful end of 2020. I hope you had a great New Year's Eve. But for 2021, I want y'all to get busy. I didn't do my classic, let's make our goal list for the first week. We're going to do that next week. But I want y'all to be so incredibly ready to rock this year. We're going to get into the disc. We're going to get back into your learning styles and how to really utilize it in school. Not just in school, but just learning in general. I know we already did the part 2, but we're going to get a little deeper in the weeds because a lot of people enjoy those episodes. And most importantly, we are going to get back into really finding out your superpower. That's what we're going to do. Quarter 1, 2021 on the Student Fire podcast is going to be nuts. I'm going to ask a lot of work out of you. I'm going to ask you to be very vulnerable with yourself. And I'm going to ask you to not judge me at all for having my sock in the shot that I just realized after recording all of this. Oh, man. I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful week ahead of you. I really do. For everyone going back to school, keep rocking it. I hope you had a great break. For everybody going back to work, I love you, and I hope you have a great day. You're amazing. You are loved. You are so powerful. You bring value to the world. And if no one's told you this today, you look amazing. You sound amazing. You are amazing. And thank you for rocking with me. I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace. Whew, that was another awesome episode of the Student Fire podcast. Thank y'all for sticking around for this long, but I got a question for you. Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? See, when I was trying to get this podcast off the ground, I had a lot of questions, like how do I record an episode? How do I get my show to apps? Like, do I have to do it individually, or can I just have one place that does everything for me? And most importantly, How do I make money from my podcast? Is that even an option? Well, honestly, y'all, your answer is Anchor. Anchor is the one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it is 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now, Anchor can match you with great sponsors that want to advertise on your podcast. Yes, you. That means you can get paid to make the podcast. You can get paid to podcast the right way. In fact, that's exactly what I'm doing right now by reading this ad. If you want to get down on this, if you want to make your podcast a reality and you want your success and your word to be a thing, man, you already know. Hop over to Anchor and give it a start. You won't regret it. Catch y'all in the next episode. Peace. We are Speakfire. Who are we? We are a collective of inspirational, motivational, life-guiding speakers here to help you make your best life available and real today. For everyone that's looking for anything and everything leadership, you have to check out my guy, Michael Gingras, over at Leadership Fire. For my youth that are coming up, for those of you that have questions that need answers, go hit up Sean B. He's the host of Young Fire, killing the game every single Monday. For those of you that have questions that go a little deeper, for those of you that need that internal fire inside of you, not just sparked, but you need those flames fanned, go check out Aisha Thomas with Internal Fire. For my fathers, y'all, you are the real MVP. Go check out my guy Jody Cedric, the host of Father's Fire. For my champions, for my people that need to be the champion of not only their day, but their entire life, man, you'll gotta check out my man Neil Legend over at Champion Fire. For my students, doesn't matter if we're talking elementary, middle school, high school, college, my graduate students, all of you, for everything student empowerment, student leadership, and student productivity, tune in to Student Fire with me, your host, Bobby Bird. We are Speakfire, live every Monday morning, 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You gonna wake up with us? Let's get it.
I am excited to bring you my new book, Trendsetter, 7 Steps to Radically Stand Out to Be the Best You. This book details my journey of coming to the United States and being excited to embrace the American culture. But unfortunately, my culture was not accepted, and I found myself being bullied as a young girl. And in this process, I decided that I wanted to disconnect from my culture to be more accepted into American culture. And through that process, I got so depressed from trying to fit in that I attempted suicide my freshman year in high school. So this book talks about the journey of what I did to become radically transformed, to be the strong woman I am today. This book is something that's really going to enable the reader to understand and embrace who they are, embrace what makes them special, and become radically transformed. Get your copy today at becomingatrendsetter.com. Again, that is becomingatrendsetter.com, or check it out at my website at aishathomas.org.